Here we're on the rooftop garden of the Flow Factory, and there's lots of weeds. Yeah, a weed is a kind of a neglected plant. Someone might just cut it down and not care about saving it, maybe if they're cutting their lawn, or typically out of ignorance. I don't like to hear people talk bad about plants, because I'm always just one little tiny piece of knowledge away from loving a plant. The way I kind of got into learning about plants was by rejecting, killing something that I don't know anything about. So instead, when I saw a plant I didn't know, I made it an objective to find out what it was and how it can be used. And lo and behold, we have a lot of weeds, unknown plants to many, that have great uses. Medicinally, edible. Some of them are here. We have this Amazonian medicinal called chanca piedra. You can see these little stones right here on the bottom of the leaflets. It's very easy to harvest. You just pinch it here and it all comes off. And this can be used as a tea to dissolve kidney stones. One of the few things that can do that, even in the pharmaceutical world. And it tastes really good too. It's like coca. Chanca piedra, which in Spanish means smashing rocks. And it's kind of indicative of its shape. It's got these little balls. And there's a couple things that look like it. So make sure you consult a plant expert about this. Here we have a canna lily. Every part of this plant is edible. The leaves are food safe to wrap food. This is an ancient Andean lost crop. The flowers are my favorite part. Sweet, crispy like bib lettuce. Amazing plant. But the root is said to be edible as well. I've tried it. It was kind of tough. I think with a little more water, it would be succulent. That's how the Incans would eat them. They are native. At this point, canna lilies, beautiful red or yellow flower, are two varieties. There's also ornamental varieties, from what I hear. So there's people in the anthropological world that are studying the mummies' guts and finding out what people ate, and it's really holy work. And that's how we find out about these crops that people used to eat, but maybe we've lost it. But we're learning again how to eat them, and this is one of them that's just a lot of potential in our area. Over here, I was surprised to find another native plant. I don't know how it got up here. Maybe a bird took a crap. But this is an elderberry. Amazing for beneficial insects. Every part is poisonous except the flowers and then what comes after the flowers, the berries. And the berries are delicious. They're small, they're black or purple, and they can be used for common colds or the flu. Mixed with honey, it turns the honey purple, and it's just awesome. I love this. You can start it easily if you have bigger plants from cuttings and stick them in the dirt. A lot of natives, they can take like that just as easy as cutting it and keeping it watered, and they'll take root. Here we have India's gift to the world, purslane. A beautiful plant. Every part is edible. It has tons of omega-3 and 6 oils in this, comparable to fish oil. It's delicious. It's a little tangy. It's a great addition to salads. You can eat, like I said, every part. I'm eating the leaves right now, but you can also eat the flowers. You'll find it in the sand, in the full sun. It can really handle a lot. And also very, very delicious. This is Malabar spinach. They love to climb around, and they're kind of succulent, just like these purslane. Their leaves get swollen, and amazing. Just a delicious edible to cook or to eat raw. And I love eating raw food. This is a native cactus called nopal in Mexico, also native to Mexico. And this cactus, you break a stem off, you throw it in the sand, it's gonna grow. Sometimes slow, but you know what? It's edible. You can use it for so many things. It doesn't need very much. New growth is really nice to slice up and fry. You want to shave off glockade, some of them. Awesome food. I made a shampoo out of it by blending it, and it's kind of gooey, but smells good. It smells like cucumbers. Now here we have a papaya. If you have rich soil, this thing is a rocket ship of a plant. It just shoots up. Amazing how much sun it can handle. It makes fruits that are like, they can be large and they can be eaten in early stages when they're green as a potato like squash that holds its shape, and absorbs any flavor, doesn't have much flavor. But also, if you wait a little longer with a little more patience, you can get some sweet, delicious fruit out of the papaya. And here we have some amaranth. Sometimes you get leaves that are humongous and just delectable. Nothing quite like it. Beautiful flowers that are just like, they look like a mink's tail or something. Sometimes they have barbs and spikes, and you can eat the flowers as well as the leaves. They produce lots of seeds, and you can make a meal out of them. Very good green, can handle full sun. This is one of the most, I would say the most common plant in Florida. It's called Bidens alba, Spanish needles, beggar's tick. They call it that because these seeds like to stick to everything. Your socks, your pants. A lot of people don't like them for that reason. But all you have to do is pluck the dead heads off, and then you don't have to worry about the seeds, and you're gonna get more flowers. And the great thing about the flowers, other than their beauty, is that the bees love them. They're composite flowers. There's like a sunflower, lots of little flowers, and so it gives a bee a lot of chances to get a lot of goodness out of it. And like I said, it grows so commonly that it's delicious. Also, the new shoots of this plant, it just rained, so we have some green shoots. They're edible and medicinal, kind of minty. You can steam them, make spanakopita. It doesn't have oxalic acid, but it has iron, like spinach, more iron than spinach. And so Bidens alba, I just can't speak highly enough about this native insect attractant, edible, medicinal plant. Oh yeah! For ant bites, it's an analgesic, which means it numbs, like Novocaine. This plant grows everywhere. You take a couple leaves, you crush it up, and you get a little bit of juice there, a little green juice, and you rub it on whatever the area is. It's probably going to be on your ankle or something, and what happens is it numbs it, and you don't get itchy, and you don't get welts. Weeds don't need your help to grow so much, but they're there. You might as well tap into them. You might as well encourage their growth with a little bit of love, and they don't get any or much. With just a little bit of love, I mean, you can really make a weed happy, and in turn, if you know how to use it, make yourself a nice meal, a nice snack, a nice little flavor here and there. It's all just how you interact with it, if you're managing it, and it can be beneficial for both the plant and the people using it. Ultimately, everything comes from nature. Everything when it gets a chance to shine, it will. And these weeds are some of the toughest guys out there that are kind of saying, hey, you know, we're just barely hanging on. We can keep this up for a while. And thankfully we have those, at least those weeds, because if we didn't have those, we might not, you know, these tough guys that can handle any condition, then I'd be scared to think about what we'd be left with. It's always a chance to learn. If you see a weed, you know, instead of killing it, I wish there was a rule that was like, if you don't know what it is, you can't kill it. And I wish that was the rule in the Amazon. I wish that was the rule even in our backyards, because, I mean, what's to lose from knowing more? The sweetest things in life is the only thing this guy's after. And me too. They tap into the great abundance that seems invisible to our eye, but you know, these tiny little flowers, they're able to get into every single flower and just take the tiniest amount of sweetness, and that's what they do all day. Just take a tiny little bit of sweetness of the great abundance around them, and that's a really great model to follow.